Good late afternoon and welcome to Golden Lion Football. I'm Tim Stubbs along with Carl Wimper. We are moments away from the opening kick. It is the conference opener and the home opener here from Golden Lion Stadium. Should be an outstanding matchup. Carl, your thoughts? UAPB sporting some new unis here today. Looking good.
That's a new home black and gold. The uniforms came in just a couple of weeks ago. Very good touch to them, Tim.
As we are, this game on ESPNU, as well documented. Kind of a sparse crowd here early on. Maybe a few folks trying to sit back and watch it on TV today, but we couldn't ask for better weather so far. This has just been a gorgeous last couple of days here in Southeast Arkansas.
Well, not a cloud in the sky. We got a break in the temperature this morning, and it's I think here about tip-off it's about 79, 80 degrees, which is good football weather.
Well, Alabama State coming in. This is a team that's always a good rivalry, these two teams, and many thought this may be a preview of the SWAC championship last year when UAPB won. That was a game on ESPNU, a Thursday night game there in Montgomery, Alabama. But these two teams always seem to be in the hunt, and again this year, of course, UAPB struggling out of the gate, some numbers issues, and taking a couple of lumps on the chin, a couple of thumps the last couple of weeks. They're looking to get back into the friendly confines of Golden Lion Stadium and hopefully get something going today.
Well, Golden Lion's very happy to be back inside of Golden Lion Stadium because they play very well here, and you got this home crowd. Should be a good performance by UAPB.
Just about set for kickoff here. Tyler Strickland will boot it away for UAPB. Those new black and gold jerseys. And with that, we are underway, the opening kickoff. Taken right at the goal line, 20, 25, 30, and up to about the 31-yard line. That's where Alabama State will take over.
It's Miles Everett. He's a wide receiver, 5'10", 170 pounds, sophomore out of Marietta, Georgia. And speaking of Georgia, Alabama State is really offensive. They are led by Isaiah Crowell. He's a terrific back transfer a year ago from University of Georgia, and he's really put up some good numbers here after the first couple of ball games.
Daniel Duhart is the quarterback. He'll take the snap. Crowell's got it. Straight ahead, not a whole lot there. Pretty good job up front by that UAPB interior line of scrimmage. Give him a gain of about 3 and bring up second down and 7 for Crowell and the Hornets.
Tim, Alabama State likes to go with the no-huddle, similar to what UAPB Eric Dooley does offensively, so it's going to be a chess match between these offensive coordinators.
Handoff wide right, out of bounds at the 41. Let's see where they're going to mark this. Going to be very close to a first down for Crowell. It looks like he's got the first down, and it is a Hornet first down. So 2 plays in, first down for Alabama State. Looks like a few players returning this week for UAPB that have not played in previous weeks. So slowly but surely, Monty Coleman starting to get his troops back. Handoff again, right side. Crowell navigates his way over the 45 up to about the 47-yard line. Positive yards that time, able to get a good push up front. And it's going to bring up second down and about 3 for the Hornets.
Well, that time Joel Green, the junior linebacker out of, he's 6'2", 225 pounds. He's out of East Los Angeles Community College. Came in on the tackle.
Zone read, quarterback keeper. Duhart will take it over midfield into UAPB territory and picks up a first down at the Golden Lion 47.
Well, Tim, Alabama State is no secret. They like to run the football, and Crowell is the main part to that Alabama State running game, and he's a heck of a running back.
Shotgun here for Duhart. Trying to do a little end around, going backwards, and a big loss. Crowell's going to have to eat it all the way back at his own 40-yard line. Let's see what they're going to mark him down at the 39. A huge loss of about 12 on the play.
Well, initially it's going to be a misdirection play there, and they really didn't fool the Golden Lions defense. And Tim, I always have the philosophy, if you're doing well moving the football down the field, why bring in trickery?
So tried a little reverse there with Crowell, and UAPB was right on it, made Crowell go backwards. Going to throw it here, going deep. right down the middle. They have a man wide open, and then he fumbled it. Ball is loose, and I believe UAPB's got it. And the Golden Lions have recovered after a big pass play. That was Demario Bell on the post right down the middle. And I believe TQ Mims recovered the fumble, and the Golden Lions are able to escape disaster and turn it into a big break as they're going to take over at their own 9-yard line. But it looked like Alabama State was going in for, if not a first and goal inside the 10, maybe a touchdown. Instead, now UAPB has the ball. That's a huge turnaround.
You mentioned TK Mims. Mims came up with the football. He's the one who made the initial hit on the wide receiver. And TQ, now I get to TQ in a little bit.
UAPB going to spread it out. No backs here. And a whistle before the snap.
It's like some movement on UAPB on the line, but back to TK Mims, rather, Tim. He was recruited as a free safety out of Midland High School there in Midland, Louisiana. He was switched to quarterback during the spring drills this past April. Then he was moved back to safety during the preseason drills. And I'll tell you what, one thing about TQ, he has really good speed. Good size, too, for that 6'2", 210 pounds. He's a redshirt senior.
False start on UAPB. That's going to back them up out of their own 5. Anderson going to throw it out of its end zone here. Now he's going to run it. He's got some room up the 10 to 12, up to about the 14-yard line. A late flag comes in. He slid down, and there was some contact after he slid down as they try to protect the quarterback. That may be the call here.
In protecting the quarterbacks, that's one thing the offensive line has been able to do all season. They have not given up a sack this year.
And it is going to be on Courtney Berry, linebacker, 6 foot 215, redshirt freshman out of Maryville, Indiana. And that's going to tack on 15 and a first down for UAPB, and that gives them some breathing room now.
You know, those are little costly mistakes, that penalties that really can just devastate a football team, because you don't want to come in and give UAPB an additional 15 yards on something that could have been avoided.
Handoff left side, stood up after a gain of 2, maybe 3 there. Not a whole lot. After we pile up, get everybody off our running back there for a moment, but starting once again, that's Jamie Smith, the freshman out of Camden Fairview, who had a really nice ball game against McNeese State a week ago. And with chaos, there's opportunity. And that's the way it's been for these freshmen, Young. And here is Anderson trying to escape problems and just gets rid of it barely as he was about to go down for a sack. Throws it incomplete. Lucky there was no grounding, and he was able to get out of the box there and escape the sack, but it's going to bring up 3rd down and 9.
I've said it from time to time, Tim, that Ben Anderson's really improved since his freshman year. 2 seasons ago, Ben would have thrown that ball and perhaps would have gotten it picked up, but he makes smart decisions throwing the football and even running it.
Shotgun again. Spread them out 5 wide here. Corner blitz possibly coming up here for Alabama State. Gonna throw it, steps up in the pocket, and he's able to dump it off. Had a man wide open at the 35-yard line. That was Jamie Smith, and if Smith could have caught it, if he would have turned upfield, he might have had a first down there, but instead he dropped it, kind of turned his head and didn't look the football in as he was getting ready to fight for yardage. But
another flag down, Tim.
Gonna have another penalty here, Carl, as
the officials the umpire just threw it.
Could be on Alabama State, as if you take
that might be a personal foul penalty. The
excitement from kicker Tyler Strickland, who is clapping and pointing first down possibly here. Personal foul on Alabama State. So UAPB is going to keep it here, and they're living a pretty charmed life here early on in this ball game, coming up with some breaks. So that's going to move it up 15, and they're going to keep the football. Huge play early on here, as at the 12-minute mark here in the first quarter, it's no score from Golden Lion Stadium. Arkansas Pine Bluff, their conference and season opener, or their home opener rather, and Alabama State.
Wow, that's back-to-back 15-yard penalties against Courtney Berry.
All the way up at the 46-yard line of UAPB now. Shotgun here for Anderson. Steps up in the pocket, wants to run it if he can get to the edge. He's not going to get there, and he's going to have to eat it at the 47. and get maybe about a half yard on the play, and that's all.
One thing about Alabama State, they like to come with the blitz from the safety or the outside linebackers, and they're gonna try to pressure this UAPB quarterback and Ben Anderson. But so far, that big offensive line for the Golden Lions is holding up pretty good.
Handoff, trying to bounce it outside, a little counter here, nothing there, and again, good job by that Alabama State defense, and only, boy, probably no gain once again. So looking at 3rd and 9 coming up now for the Golden Lions at their own 47. Jamie Smith is the lone back. They'll spread him with 4 wide here. Anderson looks over to the sideline after a little hard signal there, and now they'll move Jamie Smith up even with Anderson just to his left. And a timeout, I believe, going to be called here by Ben Anderson. We'll keep it here. 10:49 to go. Here in the first quarter, Tim Stubbs, Carl Wimper, if you're just joining us, everything sounding good on KUAP as they got their issues fixed, so that's good. Good news there on that.
Yeah, Tim, when you look at this ball game here, you look at a sense of urgency for both teams. Alabama State starting off 0-1 in the conference after a disappointing 30-23 loss to Jackson State last week, and that was the Eastern Conference game between the two ball clubs. And Alabama State led Jackson State by 14-0. And then for UAPB, you want to start the SWAC conference playoff with a victory. You know, after those 2 devastating losses to Arkansas State University up in Jonesboro a couple weeks ago, and then losing to McNeese State down in Lake Charles, Louisiana. This team is wounded, but they're coming back, and you want to put on a good showing and get a home victory. That way you can stay on top of the conference. So, like right now, the Golden Lions are still the defending SWAC champions until that title is dethroned.
Our UAPB football broadcast on KUAP is sponsored in part by Arkansas A&M, AM&N College Federal Credit Union, Arkansas Health Connector, and the Wellness Center at Robert F. Moorhead Middle School.
Gives me a little time, Tim, to talk about the Office of Recruitment. UAPB and the Office of Recruitment will host High School Day on next Saturday, beginning at 4 p.m. in the auditorium of the Hathaway Howard Fine Arts Building. High school juniors and seniors will take part in the campus tour, an academic fair, and have a delicious meal, and get free admission to the Golden Lions football game against the Alcorn State University Braves. Now, for those high school students who want to attend, just contact the Office of Recruitment at 870-575-7176.
Just about set to resume play here. 10:49 to go. Here in the first quarter, no score. UAPB's faced with a 3rd down and 9 from their own 47. Four receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Smith, the lone back, shotgun here for Anderson.
This is normal
State
time.
showing blitz.
Normal time you look at Des Beverly.
Takes the snap, looks right, now left. And going to crank it up, and almost picked off, incomplete, looking for Eckwood at the 40, and it's going to bring on a punting situation for UAPB. Missed opportunity as they had good field position. Alabama State able to recover after that personal foul penalty.
Yeah, good break up there by Nicholas Martin, the cornerback, 6'0", 175 pound, a sophomore out of Dalton, Alabama.
Strickland on to kick it away. And it's going to bound at the 20 and roll out of bounds around the 15, 16-yard line. So that's where Alabama State will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 16. This will be their 2nd official possession. Could have some long timeouts as game on ESPNU, but quickly Alabama State back out on the field here. Beautiful sunshine. I'm sure we'll have some shadows creeping in over the press box in second quarter and second half. These late afternoon starts, you tend to have that quite a bit.
You certainly do.
Duhart, they'll fake the end around. It's going to go to Crowell. He's got running room at the 25, bounces off a would-be tackler there and falls forward to the 29. And it looks like enough 12-yard pickup and a first down for Alabama State.
A good open field tackle by TQ Mims, rather, because had Mims missed that tackler, Crowell probably still been running now.
Duhart in the shotgun. Hand off Crowell again in the secondary as he powers his way up to the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 and another first down. Isaiah Crowell, transfer from the Georgia Bulldogs, a big 4- or 5-star recruit out of Georgia, and it didn't work out there at the University of Georgia, but Alabama State is thankful for that.
He's a big back, 5'11", 190 pounds, but he has outstanding speed.
Hand off again, Crowell. He's got the edge, lowers his shoulder and out of bounds, close to midfield. Gonna say he stepped out at about the Hornet 47-yard line to bring up second down and 3.
Well, Crowell is running behind a big offensive line there for Alabama State, and is anchored by Tovar Allen, 6'6", 315 pounds, a junior, but that offensive line is huge. When you look at the SWAC ball club, those offensive lines pretty much big all across the front.
Movement up front before the snap as they were going, looking for Bell deep again. Should be a offsides here. Gonna call that one on UAPB.
That was Troy Goss. He's outstanding defensive tackle there who played football at Shiloh Christian High School there in Springdale, Arkansas.
Malcolm Cyrus, the new back in the game with Duhart. Cyrus gonna take the handoff, upended, big hit. For the Golden Lions, number 39, Antonio Jenkins, 6'1", 215, sophomore linebacker out of Watson Chapel. Comes up and nails Cyrus for no gain on the play, and that's how you hit right there.
I tell you what, Jenkins, you talk about he's a hard hitter who loves contact, and he's worked himself into the linebacker rotation. He ended up in his first game last week, he had 14 tackles.
Pass behind Bells, it skipped the ground. They're gonna say he caught it. Looked like it threw behind him, and I thought the ball hit the ground.
Well, we have instant replay for today's ball game, but obviously they're not going to take a look at it. From this angle, it did look like it kind of skipped the ground.
Third down, about 3.5 here. Ball at the UAPB 42-yard line. Shotgun now pitched to the left. Cyrus at the 40 and close to first down yardage. I think it's going to be just shy and bring up fourth down and about a half yard.
Jenkins in on tackle again. I'll tell you what, Jenkins, he's really beefed up since his prep days, his prep high school days at Watson Chapel High School.
They're going to go for it here. Fourth, we'll call it 4th and 1. UAPB showing some pressure on the edge. Now they back off as Daniel Duhart, sophomore quarterback out of Macon, Georgia, looks over to his sideline.
Gosh, Alabama State is going to go for it, and you don't have your big back Crowell in there.
Play clock was winding down, and they may have called a timeout, and they did. Right as the play clock was winding, Alabama State wants to call a timeout, talk it over here. 4th and 1 at the UAPB 39.5-yard line. So here we go, 4th and 1. They're going to go for it here, the UAPB 39.
And you got Crowell in the ball game.
Just to the left. They hand it off straight ahead, Crowell, and he's got enough for the first down. He's able to get a surge right up the middle to the 36-yard line, and gain of about 3 there, and a first down for the Hornets. Tried a little misdirection there as they had a man coming. That was Earl Lucas, a receiver coming around just to give a little bit of a decoy as if he might get the ball in an end around. Instead, they gave it to Crowell. This time, Crowell will take it again. He's hit hard. Short to no gain on the play. Good job by the UAPB defense. Getting a little chippy down there with Crowell and couple of the Golden Lion players. A lot of jawing going on, pushing and shoving. No gain on the play.
I tell you, when you look at this Alabama State offensive line, those guys are big. They go. Hickenbottom is 6'4", 320 pounds. You got Roman Moore, 6'5", 313 pounds. He's at the right guard. Those are some pretty big guys up front.
Try a little screen here and going nowhere. An outstanding job there by, I believe, Giovanni Harvey. Or was that our buddy Antonio Jenkins again? That was Jenkins. So Jenkins stepped up. He read the screen perfectly as they were able to get it to Earl Lucas, but Jenkins was having none of that. A loss of one on the play, 3rd down and 11.
Well, Jenkins is 6'1", 215 pounds, and tell you, he's become just so much more physical.
Stepping up, Duhart's going to run it. 35-30, 1st down and more, and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And that time he just ran everybody deep. It opened up a soft zone there on the right side of the field, and Duhart attacked it and picked up a big 1st down for Alabama State.
Well, Duhart, he found a crease over on their right side, and it was nothing but daylight. And keep hearing a whistle.
6.5 left. 1st quarter, no score. Alabama State driving. They're going to keep it here. Crowell was tripped up. He took it out of a Wildcat formation and was tripped up by Jenkins again, I believe. So Jenkins very active early with 3 tackles here.
Well,
making an impact.
Last season, Jenkins played mostly on special teams and just couldn't crack that linebacker spot because you had last year you had Bill Ross, Jerron Harris, and Xavier Lofton, and it was hard for him to get into playing time, but he's taking advantage of his opportunity this season.
Cyrus, the handoff, not a whole lot there left side, and Golden Lions doing a pretty good job there of Anthony Smith. Smith made a nice play there on the edge, and a gain of just about 1, really. 3rd down and 9 coming up here.
It's a big 3rd down for the Golden Lions because you don't want Alabama State to get into the end zone. You want to try to hold them at least to a field goal.
And they set up the screen. They got it at the 15, the 10. He's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama State.
That screen was set up perfectly.
Earl Lucas. Yeah, that was Katie bar the door, and then they dumped it right over the top of, it seemed like almost all 11 UAPB players were coming after Duhart, and once you get it past them, it was pretty easy after that as Lucas takes it the rest of the way to pay dirt. 6-0 Alabama State. Extra point coming up here. Kick is over the netting and onto the field house, and it's good. So we will step aside here. Our first break in the action. 5:17 remaining, 1st quarter. 7-0 Alabama State leading the Golden Lions. UAPB will be set to receive the kickoff after this timeout.
And number 6, Jonathan Johnson.
And here's the kickoff. Going to be taken by Johnson right at the goal line. Johnson stops at the 10, tries to reverse field here at the 7, and nowhere to go. Gets to about the 12, and that's it. A 12-yard return, and a good job by Alabama State not letting Johnson get to the edge there, and UAPB not very good field position once again. But there is a flag down back at the 10. It's going to be on UAPB, and it's going to be half the distance to the goal and back them up even further.
It's a block in the back. Normally you get those kind of penalties, Tim, when the return guy is reversing the field, trying to make something happen.
Yep, that's right. And it's almost inevitable. They're a lot more surprised when there's not a flag than when there is. So it's going to be Anderson, the man in motion. Takes the snap. Zone read, handoff, a little bit of room, not a whole lot, up close to the 6-yard line. Jamie Smith again, the freshman from Camden Fairview. And not a whole lot there, as we're going to say no gain. Ball at the 5, just outside of the 5, close to the 6-yard line. Once again, same play. They'll try the left side and going to lose a yard. Forward progress is going to give him at about the 4-yard line, and that's it. So 3rd down and long coming up here for UAPB at their own 4. Got to be careful here.
Yeah, you got to be careful here, man. Jamie Smith, I'll tell you what, he's a big back, 6 feet, 220 pounds, and he's big, powerful, and explosive. He led Camden Fairview to the state class 5A state championship last season.
Shotgun here for Anderson. Now looks over to the sideline. Going to spread it 4 receivers. Jamie Smith just to the left of him, standing a foot into the end zone. Anderson feels the pressure, steps up, throws it, then dropped. Would have been a 1st down and maybe more, but it was dropped by the Golden Lions. Number 83, Brandon Kinsey, who made a big play a week ago at McNeese State, but this time he dropped in a little crossing pattern, and now Tyler Strickland's going to have to kick it out of the back of the end zone here.
I tell you what, Kinsley, he's out of New Orleans. He transferred from Louisiana Lafayette, and he showed flashes of being a good receiver during the spring drills.
And angling it out of bounds. Not a very good kick here. It's going to be good field position at about the 34-yard line for Alabama State. So they lead 7-0. 3:47 to go, 1st quarter, and now they have the football at the UAPB 33-yard line. Alabama State looking good right now.
Well, you know, Tim, that's a situation where Strickland got off one of his, perhaps one of his worst punts, of the season there, and Alabama State has really started in the ideal field position. They're only 33 yards shy of the end zone.
So Alabama State will take over, leading 7-0. Stretch play to the left. Cyrus, big hole. Look out, secondary. Foot race. Cut back at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Hornets. Cyrus takes it in from 33 yards out. Malcolm Cyrus, 5'10", 180 junior from Alabama, gives Alabama State a 13-0 lead, and the Hornets striking early and often here.
That shows you how big that drop pass was by Kinsey, because it would have given UAPB a new set of downs. And like I said, this defense, they've been in the field pretty much this entire 1st quarter.
Wenzig on for the extra point. And the kick is good. We'll step aside. 3:39 to play. 1st quarter so far, it's all Alabama State. They lead UAPB 14-0. The Golden Lions set for the kickoff right after this. Set to kick it away here is Wenzig. Kicks it deep and taking a yard into the end zone, and kneeling it down is Jonathan Johnson. So UAPB will take over at the 25-yard line. That'll be their best field position on a drive so far. That's a touchback. So the Golden Lions going to have some work to do. They're down 2 touchdowns, 14-0. And Alabama State has come out and aggressively taken a hold of this game early on.
And they really have. And this offense for UAPB is going to have to generate some 1st downs, because this defense needs a rest here.
Anderson with the handoff here. Bouncing off one man was Jamie Smith. Smith able to get some good yardage over the 30 to the 33-yard line. A gain of 8 on the carry there. Bring up 2nd down and short.
Well, it's a good block there by Kenny Eagle, the 6'4", 305-pound right guard, who's a senior.
Stretch to the right, close to a 1st down. Right at the 35-yard line. It was Smith again. And it is enough for a Golden Lion 1st down. Right at 3 minutes and counting here. 1st quarter, 14-0 Alabama State. Shotgun snap, Anderson gonna throw it, has a man, it is picked off. He had it and batted it in the air right to an Alabama State linebacker. That is number 32, Courtney Berry, who caught it off the deflection. And another drop pass, basically, right off the deflection, and Berry picked it off and ran it back to the 25-yard line of UAPB, and Alabama State in business. The goal line's making matters worse. Already down by 2 touchdowns. Now you give Alabama State the football on a turnover at the 25.
Offensively, 2 things that really bother you is that those tip passes, those passes that bounce off the defender.
Crowell, and off left side, hit pretty hard, breaks a tackle. Now he's got some at the 20, cuts it up at the 10, the 5. Crowell, touchdown, Alabama State. Isaiah Crowell, they had him stopped in the backfield. He broke a tackle, then busted loose outside. Made a nice cut back at about the 15, and Crowell takes it to the house. 25-yard touchdown, and Alabama State rolling here in the first quarter at UAPB, leading 20-0 with 2:41 remaining in the quarter.
Tell you what, Crowell, he has great vision on the field. And as a matter of fact, he started left and went back to the right and just found the crease and got into the end zone.
One play after the turnover. Alabama State making UAPB pay for their sins. We'll step aside, 2:41 to go first quarter. Alabama State adds another score. They lead 21-0 over UAPB. Kickoff right after this. Winzig set to boot it away here. It's going to be taken left side of the end zone. Johnson, he'll run it out. Probably should have just nailed it for the touchback. Only gets to the 11. Get to the 25 on a touchback. Trying to make a play. Mitchell rather. So they're going to give him the 11-yard line, and again, you start deep in your own territory. They're going to say, let's see where they actually spot the ball. We had one official at the 11 and one at about the 13.
It's on the 13.
But again, just very poor field position to start your drive.
I think at this point, still a lot of time to go in this ball game, but I think the goal line's going to have to try to open it up just a little bit.
They'll fake the handoff, rolling to his left, trying to get rid of it. Now he just throws it away. He was looking for Cody Swain. He was well covered, and Anderson just nothing there. Right now, UAPB trying to find some continuity offensively as they are struggling to find a flow right now outside of a little bit of a running game.
Well, like I say, Alabama State likes to blitz with those linebackers in the strong safety, and you can look for them to really try to put some pressure on Ben Anderson now.
Jamie Smith, the lone back in the ball game. Eckwood, Swain to the left. Bryant and Dez to the right, going to throw it. Looking deep up the right sideline, and it is incomplete. And a flag come in late here. Isaiah Ferguson, the intended receiver. I thought it was Des Beverly. Now a flag on the head coach of Alabama State. They're going to have to hold him back, and this is going to be a pass interference probably, and a personal foul on Alabama State on top of that. UAPB is going to get out of this hole here at least.
Sorry, Tim. He needs to be careful. He's on the field now, and the umpire's in his face now. And Reggie Barlow's got to be very, very careful because he can get another one and get tossed out of the game.
Well, last year I remember we had to cut our crowd mic because Barlow was going irate on the sideline. It was a pass interference play in that game at Alabama State. So pass interference on Alabama State. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty will tack that on as well. So UAPB will end up gaining 25+ yards out of this.
And the assistant coaches at Alabama State, they're trying to hold Coach Barlow back. He's really going bananas over there.
Let's see, they're going to spot it actually. Pass interference, not a spot of the football penalty. It's 10 yards, I believe, and then add on to 15. So UAPB will get it at their own 43 when we resume play here. 2:24 to go first quarter. 21-0 Alabama State. UAPB with the ball at their own 43. Fake the handoff, roll to the left, throwing, and dropped. It was right on the sideline. Cody Swain couldn't handle it, but even if he would have caught it, I don't know if he would have got his feet in bounds.
Well, there were so many drop passes there by the goal lines, and these receivers got to kind of hang on that football.
They're going to have to start making some plays. Like you said, plenty of time left here. We're in the first quarter, so no reason to panic, but there is a sense of urgency.
Yeah, it is, and that's going to go down on the stat sheet as incomplete pass by Ben Anderson, but really, Ben put the football right there between the numbers.
Second down and 10. The goal line's at their own 43. Anderson shotgun. Feels the pressure in the pocket. Now he's going to run it right side. Looks for a block. It's a pretty good block as he's got the edge close to midfield there. Pretty nice job of Swain and Bryant there on the edge. Receivers blocking for Ben Anderson.
I'll tell you one thing about Ben Anderson. He's very intelligent. He has super work habits too, Tim, and he has a very good understanding of the different defensive schemes. And when you talk with offensive coordinator Eric Dooley, he said that Ben is really way ahead of this game. He's just improved so much from his redshirt freshman year.
Third down and 4 here. The Golden Lions need to get to the Hornet 48. Ball just shy of midfield. Shotgun snap. Going to throw it, a little slant. Boy, did he catch it. They're fighting over it. The cornerback and the receiver for UAPB. It's either an interception or a first down. Going to have to see what the officials say. They usually go with the receiver on this unless it's a clear catch by the opposition. They were both fighting over it right at the 45, and they're going to say UAPB was able to hang on to it, and they give the offense the ball. Usually on a tie, they usually give it to the offense. And first down for the Golden Lions, but it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't.
Showing blitz, and I'm like you, I keep hearing a whistle down on the field there. Handoff. Gain of about 4 there. Jamie Smith on the carry. Bring up second down and 6 for UAPB as they're in Hornet territory at the 42.
Well, I tell you what, the center, Tart Paplin out of West Memphis, he's really doing an excellent job there in terms of Alpha snapping the football, pulling and making outstanding blocks. That time he made a good block there on the defensive lineman that opened up a little crease for Jamie Smith.
Second down and 6. Anderson going to go deep up the right sideline, and there's contact again and another penalty. This one is going to be on Alabama State's Najee Bright.
Yeah, Bright had Eggwood's jersey, and had it not had his jersey, the ball would have perhaps hit Eggwood right in the hands.
Stops the clock at 32 seconds left in the first quarter, and another first down for UAPB via penalty here by Alabama State. The Golden Lions could go in here, get a touchdown, but they'd feel a lot better about things.
Well, really, touchdown or field goal to get some kind of points on the scoreboard to get his offense some kind of momentum. You know, from the pro game to the college game, had this been a pro game, would have been a first down at the spot of the foul.
That's right. So first and 10 at the Hornet 26. Smith alone back again. 3 receivers to the left. Hard count. Now looking over is Anderson. As they get the play in. Anderson, high snap. Quick strike to Eckwood. 25-20. Eckwood down to the 19. Flag is on the play. Late flag came in here. Maybe in the area of holding.
I think it's going to go against Kendrick Brown, the offensive guard for the.
Would have been about a 6, maybe 7-yard pickup, but instead a holding penalty will back up UAPB. 26 seconds left.
And Kendrick Brown's the right guard, 6'2", 280 pounds, a senior. He's out of Whitehaven High School in Memphis. He transferred last season from Arkansas Baptist Junior College there in Little Rock, and he's been very impressive since his arrival at UAPB. One thing about him, he's big, strong, and quick for his size. He's a very good blocker downfield too.
Possibly the last play of the quarter coming up here. Down to 14 seconds and counting. Shotgun here for Anderson. Takes the snap. Got time. Now in trouble, and Anderson's going to be sacked back at his own 45. And once again for Alabama State, Courtney Berry, who had an interception earlier, now comes up with a sack, and that's how the first quarter will end. 21-0, all Alabama State in quarter number 1. And it'll be second down and very long when we start the second quarter right after this timeout. Back inside of Golden Lion Stadium, Tim Stubbs, Carl Wimper, as we are set for the second quarter. 21-0 Alabama State with a huge first quarter of play. The Golden Lions faced with second about 25 coming up here at their own 43-yard line. And boy, it has been some hard knocks early on in the season for UAPB, and no different in that first quarter of their home opener here.
Well, I talked about the offensive line had not given up a sack all season. That was the first sack on the sack on Ben Anderson. It was the first sack that they've given up. But that basically this offensive line for the Golden Lions, they've held up real well this season. But it looks like the passing game is getting ready to open up. And one thing about Ben, he has good connection with the receivers, Darius Eggwood and his main man, Des Beverly.
Well, somebody's going to have to make a play, as receivers been dropping some passes and penalties and turnovers. Not a whole lot working at all for UAPB right now, and Alabama State is taking advantage of every opportunity, of every mistake UAPB makes so far, leading 21-0. And second down and 25 for the Golden Lions after a drive that looked pretty promising. Now they're started to go backwards, creeping towards midfield. As we await the TV timeout. And it looks like they're finally set. Jamie Smith just to the left of Ben Anderson. Anderson operates again out of the shotgun. Faking blitz. Now here they come. Hornets are coming after him hard, and they pitch it forward. Had a man open, Smith in the left flat, but leading him a little too far there at the last second was Ben Anderson. Tried to pitch it before he was taken down and falls incomplete. So 3rd and 25 coming up here for UAPB.
I tell you what, Alabama State was under a lot of duress there because Alabama State was really coming on a blitz there, and Ben was pretty much running for his life. Big 3rd down play here for the Golden Lions.
Again, Anderson looking over to the sideline, getting the play in. No backs, so spread them out 5 wide here on 3rd and 25. Shotgun snap. Anderson throws it over the middle, and he has a man complete, Isaiah Ferguson, at the 22-yard line. A gain of about 22 on the play. And I didn't think it was enough for the first, but I guess it's not. The band is playing as if it was a first down, but it's still 4th down. So I guess the band figured, hey, if you make a 22-yard pass, it should be a first down, right? But not on 3rd and 25. Going to kick a field goal here. It's going to be Strickland. Had a 50-yarder last year against Alabama State. The kick is up, and it is long enough. It is no good to the left. No good to the left. And that was going to be about a 39-yard attempt there. So 14:06 to go. UAPB still held scoreless as Alabama State leads 21-0. Finally set here. Duhart back in there for the Hornets. Run it wide left, a little bit of room there. I believe that's Cyrus. Cyrus up to about the 28-yard line. Gain of about 6, maybe 7 on the carry.
But it's just UAPB secondary is so young. Into the ball game is Tavon Garrison. He's a strong safety out of Little Rock Parkview High School there. He's 5'11", 185 pounds, true freshman.
Stretch it left again. Nice open field tackle there, and that's Jenkins again. Boy, he's having himself a nice first half. Maybe the lone bright spot so far here for UAPB in this ball game. And Jenkins already his 5th first half tackle, and another loss there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
Gosh, it would be ideal if the goal lines can stop on 3rd down and get the ball back to the offense.
Lucas in motion, and a flag, maybe an illegal motion penalty here on Alabama State. It's going to back them up.
Nehemiah Henry, the wide receiver from Millery, Alabama, jumped. That's one thing I never could understand, Tim, how a wide receiver who's stretched out real wide can jump offside.
So 3rd down and 9 now for Alabama State. 13 minutes left here in the 2nd quarter. Alabama State in control, leading UAPB 21-0. Shotgun snap, Duhart going to throw it, and pass is complete, but not for a whole lot, just a gain of about 3 there to bring up 4th down and about 5, and UAPB's defense has held a 3 and out, and a man is down for the Golden Lions back at about the 12-yard line.
I don't want to be too premature, but it looks like Xavier. I can't quite see the number.
Maybe Julian Morgan, 56. Alabama State set to kick it away here. Bobby Wenzig, just like Tyler Strickland, does double duty. Andre Mitchell back deep at his own 22-yard line. See if the Golden Lions come up with maybe a special teams play here. Mitchell's going to take it. Eludes one man. The first man gets up to the 30 and falls forward at about the 31-yard line. About a 7-yard return there for Mitchell, and UAPB will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 31. And again, pushing and shoving going on after the play there. You know, UAPB's got to be frustrated right now the way this season has started. Defending champs, it wasn't supposed to go like this in the first 3 ball games, but it has been tough to come by, to say the least, so far for UAPB. They have fallen on hard times early on in the season, but you can write your own destiny. Still a lot of game left, a lot of season left. Just over 12 minutes to go before halftime. Another long timeout coming up here. My goodness. Looks like now they're going to get set. Makes these TV games very long.
You see, UAPB athletic trainer is still working on Julian Morgan. You know, he's really undersized for a defensive end, Tim, at 200 pounds, but he has a big heart, though. You know, you think about last year this time, he was starting from Latitia Springs High School there in Georgia. Now he started 2 games. He started 3 games in the SWAC.
Well, a lot of true freshmen getting playing time for UAPB.
Kids who were going to maybe perhaps be redshirted this year.
Thrust right into the front line. Waiting on the red shirt to leave the field here. Speaking of red shirt. Till he leaves the field, then you know they're not going to start playing.
Normally it's a red cap.
Well, he doesn't want to be missed. A red shirt and red cap here today.
Tell you, this is an important drive for the Golden Lions because before halftime, now it was a good defensive stop by the Lions defense, but you want to try to get some kind of points on the scoreboard before halftime because it's going to give you a little momentum, and then the Golden Lions will get the football coming out to start the 3rd quarter. But it's a lot of time here with 12 minutes and 6 seconds to go here in the 2nd quarter.
Shotgun here for Anderson. He'll hand it off. A little bit of running room this time over the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Gosh, James Smith, he's a straight ahead runner, but if he had bounced out to the left, he had about 5 or 6 more yards. Perhaps he could have picked up the first down. He's a powerful back.
Gain of 5 on the play. Second down and 5. Same formation, handoff, trying to stretch it right. A little bit of room to the 38-yard line, maybe the 39. Bring up third down and short here for UAPB. Third and about 2 coming up.
That was a good tackle there by the wide receiver, Eric Thomas, 6'3", 230 pounds. He's a redshirt junior.
Smith has gotten pretty much every carry, except for about 1 here in the first half. But you like his size. He and Young both are only going to get a lot better. Going to throw it. Right side. Caught. Trying to make a move. Swain. And pushing and shoving after the play, or that's Bryant rather, Dexter Bryant. First down for UAPB, or just kind of see if maybe a penalty there after the play, but
there's a little push and shove. And Dexter Bryant, he's 5'10", 195 pounds, a senior. He transferred last year from junior college to Arkansas Baptist in Little Rock, where he played defensive back. He was moved to wide receiver last season.
Going to throw it again here, stepping up in the pocket. Anderson, nothing there. He'll eat it at the 50. Picks up maybe a couple of yards.
You know, back to Dexter Bryant, I tell you what, he's a kid that slipped in on a play last year in the SWAC championship game. He caught that key third down, 30-yard pass in the fourth quarter that enabled UAPB to penetrate the football down the field.
Second down and 8 at midfield. Throwing it, caught. Bryant again puts his head down and powers his way into Hornet territory at the Hornet 43-yard line. It's going to be close to a first down. Finally starting to get a little bit of a flow going offensively here.
Well, Dexter Bryant's not a small kid at 195 pounds, and he, like, when you talk to receiver coach Craig Ray, he's very, very knowledgeable.
Handoff, Smith powers his way off the left side. He has enough for a first down, a gain of 3 on the play.
Now check that, Tim. That's Jeremiah Young.
Jeremiah Young, the other freshman out of Dalloway.
Yeah, you know, these are 2 big backs. Jeremiah Young is 6'1", 215 pounds. You know, like I said, played for the Dalloway Cardinals last year. And when you look at Young and you look at Smith, these 2 players led their ball clubs in rushing their junior and senior years in high school.
First and 10. They'll fake the handoff, throw it over the middle, dropped. Wide open, a little play action pass there, and Eric Thomas was open and just didn't look it in. Now, Ben Anderson did throw a dart right there, but that ball's got to be caught.
Yeah, that's the 5th drop pass of the game there. And you know, and when you talk about Eric Thomas, you know, out of high school there in Lake Providence, Louisiana, he went to Louisiana Tech, and then he transferred to UAPB after 1 season. Eric had 2 brothers that played at UAPB, Calvin Thomas and Arthur Thomas.
Spread them out here, no backs. Going to throw it, caught at the 30-yard line or 32-yard line, falling forward to about the 31. And close to another goal line first down here.
I believe that's the first time in today's ball game that Ben Anderson's gone to Dez Beverly, and Dez is, you know, he's that possession type receiver. Went to Alexandria High School there in Alexandria, Louisiana. And Tim, you passed through Alexandria last week on your way to Lake Charles.
I most certainly did.
Yeah, Dez, when he was recruited 3 years ago when Eric Dooley was a wide receiver coach at Southern University. 3rd
and a yard and a handoff. Young trying to get there, and it's going to depend on the spot here, but I wanted to say at first he got it. Let's see where they're actually going to spot the football.
Either way, Tim, I believe the goal line is in 4 down territory.
And the goal line is a yard shy.
And about the length of a football, it looks like. So 4th and inches coming up here. UAPB going to go for it.
The goal line is slipped. Braylon Willis, another freshman in the backfield. It's that power formation.
Thought about the 32-yard line. Just need a couple of feet here for a first down.
Yeah, Draylon Willis, he's 5'11", 218 pounds.
Now a whistle here. Timeout called Arkansas Pine Bluff.
You've got some young running backs. Your top 3 running backs are all freshmen, but they're big backs, and you want to make sure that you get it right because this 1 yard is going to be a tough yard to get.
So 4th down and inches coming up here. Ball at the Hornet 32. This is their big power formation, similar to a wishbone. They fake the handoff. Now they want to throw it. Got a man wide open, and a first down and more at the 20-yard line. Boy, they executed that perfectly as they faked the handoff. And then they were able to dump it off to the fullback, Draylon Willis, 5'11", 218 freshman from Wynne, Arkansas. So another freshman is getting his hands dirty.
Yeah, he's from Wynne, Arkansas, but he played high school football for the Blue Mustangs at Forest City High School, which is only about 10 or 12 miles from Wynne.
Handoff, Jamie Smith fights through a would-be tackler at the 15-yard line, picks up about 4, maybe 5 yards on the carry. So the Golden Lions didn't want to just do a simple handoff on 4th and inches, as you had 8 in the box for Alabama State, fake the handoff and then dump it off to one of those mini backs you had in the backfield there. It was nicely executed 4th down call.
And tell you, Draylon Willis is a good football player. Again, he led his high school team, the Forest City High School, last year in rushing.
No backs here. Anderson going to throw it, steps up in the pocket at the 15, the 10, the 5, lowers his head under the 4-yard line, and it's going to set up a first down and goal for the Golden Lions at the 4.
But you know, finally this offense has been getting to show a little life to them, because that first quarter they was totally flat. But so far, you look at the way the offensive line is firing out the football, and Ben Anderson makes some smart decisions there with his legs, and now being on the 4-yard line, the Golden Lions are going to have to stick this thing in the end zone, Tim.
7 minutes left before halftime. 21-0 Alabama State. UAPB with a first down and goal right at the 5. The lone back, Jamie Smith, he'll take the handoff, lowers his shoulder, and then hits a wall of Hornets. Gets down to about the 3. 2nd and goal coming up.
Well, that time he was running behind the fullback, H-back, I want to call him Michael Wilson out of Earl. He's a redshirt junior.
Now Jeremiah Young, the freshman from Dalloway, he'll check in for Smith. Both of those young men with great size. 6'1", 215 for Jeremiah Young, and 6 foot 220 for the freshman from Camden, Jamie Smith. Both guys with very nice size at the running back spot.
This might be the time you want to look at the big receiver, Isaiah Ferguson, with some kind of fade into the end zone.
Shotgun formation here, and a flag has come in here right at the end of the play, and a timeout called by UAPB as the play clock was running down on him.
Like I saw a flag.
Yeah, in the back of the end zone. It may have been a delay of game flag, but he was overruled by the other official, giving him the timeout before the delay of game penalty.
He looked bigger when you stand up next to him.
So here we go, shotgun snap, 2nd down and goal from the 3. Kinsey in motion, sprinting to his left, throwing, got a man open, and is a touchdown, UAPB. Yes, sir. Kinsey with the catch and the score, and the Golden Lions are on the board.
But Tim, what I like about that, offensive coordinator Eric Dooley ran Kinsley into motion. He doubled back, went back, and it looked, Ben Anderson faked the handoff as it looked like the Golden Lions was going to run with the football, and just kind of dumped it off to Kinsley. A good throwing catch there by Anderson and Kinsley.
You mentioned he was the man in motion, and then he reversed back to his original spot, sprint to the left, 3-yard touchdown to Brandon Kinsey, low snap, and the kick's no good. It was a low snap and wasn't able to handle the snap. A line drive kick was partially blocked there, so a missed extra point will step aside. 6 minutes left before halftime. Alabama State leading Arkansas Pine Bluff by a score of 21-6. We'll have the kickoff right after this. After it was 21-0 after the first quarter, boy, you were kind of getting that, oh boy, here we go again, Phil, and they've kind of restored some order to the game.
Well, it was 21-0, but it was a pass, the ball that bounced off, gave Alabama State good field position, and another busted play that they got into the end zone with a touchdown.
And a short kickoff taken at about the 14-yard line. 20-25, and big collision at about the 35-yard line. Jarrett Neely on the return there. Boy, it looked like a train wreck at about the 35 there, but a pretty good return and a kind of a short kickoff there.
Yeah, not one of Tyler Strickland's better kickoffs. So
the Hornets will take over 1st and 10, leading 21-6 over UAPB at their own 35-yard line.
Special teams coach Phil Coles, he gets real serious at special teams, and he had some words for Strickland as he came off the field.
Crowell back in there, the lone back. Lucas in motion, they hand it off to Crowell, running room, 40-45 into the secondary. Stiff arm at midfield and out of bounds into UAPB territory, and you can see why Isaiah Crowell was a 5-star recruit out of the state of Georgia and was once a Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah, just couldn't get any playing time with Georgia. They're stacked up with running backs, and he just kind of transferred it back to Alabama State.
No huddle attack here, play action. Duhart steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to run it, and taken down out of bounds. Got to be careful over there.
That's Jerron Harris.
Had a horse collar last week, did Harris. That cost him a penalty. And
Harris' kid, he has good size. His good speed going from sideline to sideline until he's 6'1", 220 pounds. He's a senior.
Fake the handoff, quick strike, right side, first down, out of bounds at the 32. Ball came loose, but let's see. And UAPB, they've got it. The Golden Lions recovered it. And for the Golden Lions, I believe that was number 90, Anthony Smith, who came up with the recovery.
It was TQ Mims who made the hit.
Mims with the strip, Smith with the recovery, and that's big because Alabama State was moving the football there. Now UAPB gets it back. That's the second fumble and fumble recovery for UAPB. Second fumble by Alabama State. They had one on the opening drive of the game after a big pass play from Duhart to Bell, and then he fumbled it at the 10. Well, they were driving in here after they had something going. UAPB takes over at their own 32-yard line with 5:16 left before halftime. It's 21-6. And this definitely makes things interesting here if UAPB can take advantage of this.
It certainly can.
No backs, they'll spread them out 5 wide. Anderson, shotgun snap, has time, steps up over the middle. It's caught at the 41-yard line, and Dexter Bryant is going to pick up about 9 yards there.
One thing about Dexter Bryant, he's very, very disciplined, and he's a possession-type receiver. I'm telling you, receiver coach Craig Ray is howling.
Quarterback draw, Anderson will keep it. First down and more. Knocked out of bounds at his own 48-yard line. A gain of about 8 and a first down for UAPB.
Well, I'll tell you what, UAPB is showing a lot of momentum now. This offensive line is really coming off the football. You can see a difference now and than you did this time in the first quarter.
4:48 left before halftime. UAPB with the first down at their own 48. Shotgun snap again, no backs. Feeling pressure, rolls out to his right. Still on his feet at the 45. Will run it midfield, out of bounds at the Hornet 45. And another gain of about 8 there for Anderson, using his feet, keeping the play alive.
You know, that 96 is Derek Billups. He's the anchor to the goal to the Hornets defensive line, 6'3", 308 pounds. He's a junior. Ben Anderson made a good move to elude him, though.
Jamie Smith back in the ball game. He'll take the handoff here. Nice little cut back. Positive yards up to the 42-yard line. Going to be very close to a first down, but a flag is down back at midfield.
I believe that one of the Golden Lions receivers jumped offside a little bit. I believe it was.
We're seeing that a lot this year. Legal formation. on UAPB. 5-yard penalty, so that'll back them up to midfield, to the 50. Now you're looking at 2nd down and 8. .4:15 and counting. 21-6 Alabama State. 2nd down and 8 for UAPB at midfield. They'll set up the tunnel screen here. Gain of just about 3 and then stacked up. That was Des Beverly that time. They love running that with Eckwood, but it's yet to really gain any traction this season.
Yeah, Des Beverly, I'll tell you what, he's on the NCAA Football Championship Subdivision watch list. And Tim, to be on that list, you've got to be an impact player. And Des was an impact player last season. 2nd leading receiver on the ball club.
Anderson going to dial it up top. Got a man open. It's complete at the 15. Driving forward. Isaiah Ferguson hauls it in and wrestles his way down to the 12-yard line. A jump ball. Ferguson wins it, and the Golden Lions are in business at the 12.
Tell you what, Ferguson, 6'6", 210 pounds. He transferred a year ago out of Asa Junior College in downtown Brooklyn, New York, and he's a big target at 6'6". At 6'6", he has good speed too.
Shotgun handoff at the 5, inside the 5, and Jeremiah Young down to about the 3-yard line. 1st down, I believe, or it's going to be close to a 1st and goal. They can get to about the 2, so I think it's going to be 2nd down and very short, but a great effort there by Young.
I'll tell you what, Keaton Brown, the right guard out of Memphis, really made a pancake block to open up a hole for Jeremiah Young.
Young takes the handoff, cut back, is close to the end zone. Let's see.
Touchdown.
Yes, sir. Touchdown, Golden Lions. Jeremiah Young with a little cutback and a last-second surge to the goal line, and UAPB is back in this ball game with 2:45 remaining before halftime. It's now 21-12, and let's see if UAPB wants to go for 2 or they're going to actually go for the extra point, but they'll be chasing that point later in the game.
I tell you what, the right tackle there, Trayvon Reagan, is 6'3", 275 pounds. He's a redshirt freshman out of Phoenix, Arizona. He made the block there that sprung the hole open for Young to get in.
The extra point is up and it's good. So the Gold Lions back in it. 2:45 left before halftime and 13 unanswered now by the defending SWAC champions. It's now Alabama State 21, UAPB 13. We'll have the kickoff coming up for you right after this timeout. Strickland set to kick it away here. UAPB now down 21-13. Kickoff taken from the 10, and a good return, 30-35, taken down at about the 38-yard line, right into the UAPB sideline. Got to be careful over there. On the return that time was Miles Everett, sophomore receiver out of Marietta, Georgia, and
I'll tell you what,
you never want to be tackled in the opposition sideline, and that's what happened there, but it was dangerous over there.
That was Kyle Walker, the
that's your boy, isn't it?
Yeah, he's out of Blythe. He's one of those Chickasaws, and I tell you what, he's been a clutch special teams player since he's arrived on the UAPB campus. He had 25 tackles last season. Kyle is real smart and very aggressive. He loves his major too, Tim. He's a math major.
A mathlete.
Yeah.
Still 2 timeouts left here for the Hornets, so you cannot just give them anything here. Out of bounds on the carry. Crowell right into the UAPB sideline. Still some jawing going on down there. Boy, you know there's some trash talking on that field today.
It really is.
These two teams are not very fond of one another, and rivalry that has dated back for several years now, but they always seem to mix it up pretty good.
Well, you know, UAPB is everybody's target this year. You know, they're the defending SWAC champions, and everybody want to knock off Pine Bluff. Kind of like years ago, you want to beat Grambling State.
Play action. Duhart going to throw it and nearly picked. And it was thrown behind the intended receiver. And Marcus Gamble, boy, that was dangerous.
Tell you what, Giovanni Harvey, had he come up with that ball, that could have been a pick 6.
2:20 to go now. If UAPB can get a stop here, they get the ball back and still have time to maybe score again. Boy, this game, the momentum has really turned here in the second quarter. Late in the second quarter. Duhart, crowd gets into it. Gonna throw into the flat. Crowell trying to get to the edge. And taken down by Jerian Harris. And Giovanni Harvey, and he's going to be shy of the first down. 4th down and 3 coming up. The goal line defense has held, and the goal lines look like they're going to get it back here. Andre Mitchell comes in to return it on the punt. Wenzeg is back to boot it away.
I'll tell you what, Javante Harvey, he's been a mainstay for the goal lines, and you know, as a sophomore, like I said, he's a redshirt senior, but as a sophomore, he started in the secondary for the goal line.
It's going to bound all the way up the top of the field here on the right side, out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So the Golden Lions will take over. 1:36 left before halftime, and no timeouts left. But they have gotten back in this football game, if anything here, 21-13. It's now just a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away. And that missed extra point, the closer this game gets, the bigger that looms.
It does.
No backs. UAPB going to try to stay aggressive here, but you don't want to be careless with it. Anderson going to throw it, and that was dangerous. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, those cornerbacks are reading your eyes and sitting back and watching. It was intended for Beverly. But you got to be careful right there. You don't want to give up a cheap one here before halftime.
Those can usually turn into a quick pick six.
2nd down and 10 from the 16. Again, no backs. Spread them out. Shotgun here. Anderson going to throw it. Throws out the left side again. Incomplete. 3rd down and 10. And you don't want to leave too much time left. You still got 2 timeouts left for Alabama State. You may want to run it here and make them spend one of those timeouts. And maybe forced to pass it just to try to keep the football. So 3rd and 10.
And third down
big play here.
Because you're right, you don't want. Let's see what offensive coordinator Eric Dew is going to dial up right now.
3rd down and 10 from their own 16. Here's Anderson. Running out of problems. Right side of the field. Little pump fake trying to get to the edge, and he runs out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Stops the clock, and they'll get the ball back. 4th down and about 6 coming up here. So
Ben's momentum carried him outside. He's really trying to tiptoe the sideline to stay in bounds to get Alabama State to burn one of those timeouts.
Quick 3 and out for the UAPB offense. Tyler Strickland on to kick it away here. Back deep is Malcolm Cyrus. The running back is going to be the return man here. Good kick. Cyrus backpedals, takes it at the 28. Nowhere to go with it. And great special teams coverage there at the 32-yard line. Brandon Kinsey, and who else was in there? Braxton Hoof. Looked like Kyle Knoll was in there. So good job by the special teams, just playing a little field position there, and Alabama State will take over.
I tell you what, Kinsey is just a good athlete. He has good size, he has good speed, and he was downfield in a hurry.
1:05 left before halftime. 21-13, Alabama State with the lead. UAPB's gotten back into it. 2 timeouts left here for Alabama State. You know they're not going to sit on it. Duhart going to throw it. Good coverage there over the middle. Caught, but short gain, if any.
Yeah, except for the one pass where DeMario Bell caught the long ball there downfield there. Alabama State really hasn't passed the football deep all game. However, they've been running the football real well.
Gain of 3. Here's Duhart in trouble. Rolling to his right. He's just going to throw this one incomplete. Now, flag has come in late at the very end of the play. 2 flags.
2 flags. I believe it's going to be pass interference against the goal line that caused the receiver to fall down.
Stops the clock at 36 seconds. It's a pass interference. Automatic first down. Spots the ball at the Hornet 47. Still both timeouts left. And Wenzig is an all-conference kicker also. Shotgun snap. They set up a little screen to Lucas, midfield and into UAPB territory at the 46. Gain of about 7. Timeout, their second timeout used by Alabama State. They'll have one more left.
29 seconds to go, and it's been a long first half. It's been well over an hour and 30 minutes long.
Yeah, those TV halves will take a long time. Have a big STEM Academy donation at halftime presentation. Stay tuned for that. And of course the M4 already. They've been waiting a long time over there on the sideline. But still some ball left to be played here. 29 seconds left. Duhart drops back. Throws, got a man open and down at the 30-yard line. They're going to try to come up and spike it now. 23 seconds left when they set the chains, and they will start the clock. Clock is rolling. They'll spike it with 20 seconds left. 21-13, Alabama State with the lead. They led 21-0 after the first quarter. UAPB 13-0 shutout in the second quarter to get back into it. But now Alabama State with a good opportunity here. 20 seconds left, one timeout, and they got the ball at the Golden Lion 30-yard line.
In about 4 or 5 more yards, Alabama State would be in ideal field goal.
Duhart sprinting to his right. Now he's going to run it, and he's forced out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Stops the clock at 14 seconds.
Well, you definitely want to hold them to a field goal here.
Still got that one timeout, though, so you can keep it in the middle of the field, at least for another play.
For the goal line, you just got to keep them out of the end zone. You don't want them on a busted play to come up and tack 7 points on the scoreboard.
Shotgun here, 3rd down and 3. Duhart drops back. Going to take a shot at the end zone here in the back of the end zone, and out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Double covered there.
The cameraman down that corner of the end zone.
He took one for the team. Stops the clock at 7 seconds left, and they're going to go ahead and kick the field goal now as Wenzig is on.
I said the cameraman, but the camera lady's down in the end zone.
Camera operator. And this is going to be spotted at the 31, so a 41-yard attempt here for Bobby Wenzig with 7 seconds left before halftime. Off the right hash. Kick is up, and it is good with 1 second remaining. We'll take a quick timeout here. 1 second left before halftime. That field goal by Wenzig makes it 24-13. Alabama State will have one final kickoff before halftime right after this timeout. Here's the final kickoff coming up here of the half. 24-13, Wenzig with a squib kick. Taken at the 21, and they'll just down it right there, and that's going to end the first half of play. 24-13 is our score at the break. Alabama State jumped out 21-0. And the Golden Lions responded with 13 unanswered in the second quarter before a Bobby Wenzig 41-yard field goal made it 24-13. And here is the STEM Academy donation presentation here on the 50-yard line, Carl. Chancellor Alexander and Dr. Mary E. Benjamin.
Dr. Mary Benjamin, who's Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, and she's over the STEM program, Dr. Mary Benjamin, and she's done an excellent job with the STEM Academy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join the university in a resounding applause of thanks for Senator Chesterfield.
Senator Chesterfield with the donation with Chancellor Alexander and Vice Chancellor Mary E. Benjamin. So an outstanding donation there. We'd love to see that. We'll step aside briefly. 24-13 is our score at halftime. Alabama State with the lead over UAPB in the home opener.